Hello everyone. I believe all of you are enjoying the coding journey with Junior Dino Coders. So in last session, we saw the theoretical things behind variables. We understood what are variables, where they are stored, and what kind of values could be given to a particular variable, how we can declare, assign, or reassign a variable. So today in this session, we will actually use them in GameLab and we'll do some fantastic exercises. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So let me show you the exercises that we will complete today. This is the first exercise where we will create some concentric circles and that will create a very beautiful pattern. So let me show you. It's something like this. As you can see, every time it is creating the different beautiful colors. So this is our exercise number 1, which we will do today. Exercise number 2 is this square pattern. So similarly, this is also a very pretty and beautiful pattern that we will do today. And for actually coding these exercises, we will also learn variables, how to use them, how and when to reassign them, and what is the use of variable, everything. And the last one and very interesting exercise that we will do today is this, growing and shrinking circle. Okay, so let's get started along with me. So very first step, as all of us are already aware of, is login to your code.org account. And because here we are doing GameLab exercise, log into your code.org and create a GameLab project. Okay, so here I am creating a GameLab project. So before actually starting with the with those exercises, I will just show you some very basic things about variables. Okay, so in GameLab, if you want to define any variable, this is how you define it. Variable, and here goes the variable name. So say for example, if my variable name is score, so I will put it like this: variable name is score. So this is how we have defined it. Understand one thing, in this line number 2, we have only defined a variable, we have not initialized it. What is the meaning of initialization? It means it do not have any value stored in it as of now. Okay, so this do not have any value. Let me show you one more very important command in GameLab, console.log. So using this, you can print your variables, your messages, or anything you want to print. So let me print the value of a score here. And this is the debug console. This is the console where you can see your values. So I will show you, if we have only defined the values but have not initialized it, what does it store actually? Okay, you can see undefined, undefined, undefined. So one thing, my bad, I should not put this inside the draw. Let me put it outside. We don't need it inside, right? So I will be putting it outside. Now let me reset and run. You can see console.log score undefined. So this is not defined. We have just declared a value, but we have not initialized this variable. Okay, now how do we initialize it? If we need to initialize it, one way, either we can initialize it like this in the same line. So it says variable score is equals to 0, or maybe let's say 20. Okay, we will see some value. It will look good. Okay, so variable score is equals to 20, console.log score. Let me see what does it prints now. Okay, you can see it is printing 0. It is printing 20. So this is one way. Another way could be, in one line, we declare a variable, and in another line, we initialize it to a value. That is also quite possible and perfect. There is no problem like this, okay? So you can see now also we are seeing a value 20 in my console log. So you can very well use this command, console.log, wherever you want to see the value of some variable or something, you can definitely use this command. In line 2, we have declared a variable named score. In line 3, we have given it a value. So what if I want to change its value? What will happen? Say for example, if now my score increases, now my score is 30. Okay, every time with a hit, if you're creating a game, every time with a hit, the score keeps on increasing. So now if you want to increase the value, okay, we increase the value to 30. So let me put another console, that what is the value of the score after line number 6. Let me reset and run it. So you can see it is printing 20 and then 30. So it means after line number 3, the value of a score was 20. Okay, but as soon as we reset the value to 30, now the value of a score is 30. Okay, now whenever you want to access the score variable, it will always return you a variable 30. Okay, so understand these few fundamental things very clearly. This is how we declare a variable. This is how we initialize. One way of initializing, you can initialize in the same line when declaring, we already saw it. And this is how you can reset the value of a variable. Okay, so understand these 2-3 steps very clearly. And now let's jump on to some exercises that we will do. So first exercise, as I showed you, we will create some concentric circles. Okay, for this, we don't need this function draw. Let me save this. Okay, so we don't need this function draw. Every one of you knows how do we create a circle. To create a circle, this is the command, ellipse. Okay, if you want to take a look, here is a video. You can go back and check how do we create circle in Game Lab. Okay, so this is how we create a circle. First two parameters are x and y coordinates of the center, and then width and height. So what I will do, one thing could be I can give the width and height here like this only. Okay, 350 and 350. If I want to create a circle of diameter 350, this is how I can create a circle. Fine. But I want to create a pattern where maybe initially the diameter of the circle is 350, then 300, then 250, then 200, and so on. So what we will do? One way could be that every time you keep on changing these two parameters. First time you are saying 350, 350, and then the next time you say, no, now this time it should be 300, 300, or another way could be to use a variable. So here we will use variable. I will name it a diameter. Because yes, this is the diameter of my circle. Let me initialize the value to 350. Okay, what I will do here now, instead of putting this 350 value, I will use this variable diameter. Okay, I can do a copy paste, make sure that the spelling, the cases, everything are same. So one another important things, if you are creating another variable like this, understand that although for both the variables we are giving the name diameter, but they are different variables. Why? Because the name of the variables are case sensitive. Okay, so always make sure whenever you are naming your variables, they are meaningful. Remember that they are case sensitive, so that later in your program you will have to use the variable name with exact cases. Otherwise, it will not be able to find that particular variable. Okay, you can see there is a this yellow triangle, which means a warning. Okay, so this is how we created a circle here. Okay, let's give it a color. So let me give it a color, fill. We have also seen fill in earlier video. You can take a look. So initially I can see RGB. RGB is basically used for generating your own custom colors. If you want, let me know in comments. I will put up a separate video regarding RGB, explaining each and everything about RGB. But for now, you just understand this RGB takes 3 parameters, red, green, and blue. And the values of these 3 parameters could be between 0 to 255. So what we will do, we will use this random function, random number function. It actually generates a number, a random number between the given limit. Okay, so because we want to create a random color, we will use this function random number that will generate a random number for us, and using that random number we will define the RGB parameters of this function fill. So please do let me know in comments if you need a video on RGB and how do we create random numbers. Okay, so this is how now when we have given fill RGB random number, random number, random number. Okay, it will create a random color for us. So let's see how does it works. Okay, this time it has created a yellow color. This time it is sort of a green color. Next is a little lighter green color. Okay, so you can see this is now generating random colors. Now the value of this variable diameter is 350. What I will do, we will change the diameter to, say for example, 300 now. So diameter is equals to 300, and we will repeat these two lines again. Or I can say very well, diameter is equals to diameter minus 50. It means whatever was the value of diameter, which we have set in line number 2, decrease it by 50. So in this case, the value of diameter is 350 in line number 2, and in line number 8, it will become 300. Okay. So in line number 8, it will automatically become 300. So let's run it and see what happens. It is always a good idea to, keep on running your code or keep on testing your code in a small interval so that if there is a problem, you find it immediately. Okay, very good. So now what I will do, I will repeat these 3 lines of code multiple times. That's all I will have to do. And let's see what happens. Okay, so we have a beautiful concentric circle pattern being created. You can see every time we are reducing the value of diameter by 50. So friends, actually this code could have been done in a better way, writing a for loop. But because we have still not covered for loop, I am not writing this code using for loop. For now, this is how you can write this code and understand variables in a better way. So it is safe now. Let me create another game lab project. Now we will do our third exercise of growing and shrinking circle. Okay, so first let's assume that my circle is just a dot. Anyways, we will have to declare a variable diameter again. And let me initialize this to 0 because initially I want it to be a dot. I will create an ellipse. Basically, if we give the width and height equal, the ellipse command will create a circle. So 200, 200 are the center point. Width and height, let me say diameter. Okay, so this is how we create a circle. Let me test it. Okay, because the diameter is 0, it's like, it's not creating any circle. What I will do next time, I will say diameter is equals to diameter plus 2. Let's see what happens this time. So we have a circle that keeps on growing, growing and growing. Okay, you can see it keeps on growing always. Why it keeps on growing? We know that this draw function is executed all the time. Whatever code is written inside this draw function keeps on executing. So we have given this command, create an ellipse at center 200, 200 position and diameter, width and height as diameter. Now, next time we are increasing the value of diameter. So now, if first time the value of diameter was 0, next time when this draw function is run, the value becomes 2. Further, it will become 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. So that is why we are seeing an effect that a circle is created and it keeps on growing. Okay, but at some point we want to stop it, right? Okay, before that, let's give it a color. I like the colorful drawings, so I'm giving it a red color. Okay, but at some point we want it to stop. So what I will do, I will say if my diameter equals to, or say for example is greater than 200. If my diameter is greater than 200, then we want to say reset the value of diameter to 0. Okay, let's see how does it work now. So it will grow till it becomes 0. Okay, you can see, we are only seeing the strokes. It means the diameter is changing, it is growing and shrinking, but there is a problem because of which the earlier circle is actually not erased. So how we can fix it? We will have to keep changing the background as well every time. Okay, so that my animation comes neat. So now every time a circle is drawn, the earlier circle will be colored white background. Okay, so now we created a blinking or a growing or shrinking circle. I hope you like the session. Show me your love in comments. Tell me how do you like this session. Also tell me if you are looking for some specific topic that we should cover. Please let me know in the comments. See you soon. Bye-bye.